So, online dating, right? It's like a thrift shop. You go in hoping for designer goods but end up with a sweater that smells like regret. You're browsing through thinking you've found a gem, only to realize it's a cubic zirconia with a missing clasp. And the profiles? They're like those quirky knickknacks you find in a thrift shop. You're not sure what you're looking at, but you can't help but be intrigued. And then there's the swiping. Oh, the swiping. Left, right, left again. It's like a never-ending game of duck, duck, goose. But you're always the goose. In the world of online dating, my thumbs are getting more action than I am, swiping left and right like a windshield wiper in a storm. And what about the cryptic profiles? Looking for a partner in crime. Great, but my idea of a crime is double-dipping chips. I mean, I once got a paper cut from a jaywalking ticket, so you might want to reconsider your criminal mastermind ambitions. Then there are those who proclaim they're adventurous. I'm all for adventure. But their idea of adventure is jumping off a cliff with a thin piece of bungee cord attached to their ankles. My idea of adventure is trying a new pizza topping. It's a wild ride when you swap out pepperoni for mushrooms, let me tell you. And the misuse of filters? It's like they're all auditioning for a role in the next Pixar movie. One girl had so many filters on her profile picture she looked like a unicorn had a fight with a rainbow. And both lost. When I met her in person I had to do a double take. I was expecting a mythical creature, not a human being. Or how about the ones who say, I love to travel. Their profile pictures are all at exotic locations. Great, but my wallet's idea of travel is a trip to the local grocery store. I mean, if you can find me a flight to Bora Bora for the price of a bus ticket, sign me up. And don't get me started on the fitness enthusiasts. I love hiking, biking, and rock climbing. Good for you, but the only rocks I'm climbing are the ones in my whiskey glass. And the only thing I'm lifting is the remote control. Then there's the classic, I'm not like other girls. Well, that's a relief because I was worried you might also be a carbon-based life form with a penchant for oxygen. Phew. Lastly, the piece de resistance, the profile that just said, if you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. Her worst was skydiving. Her best? Base jumping. I can't even handle myself at a trampoline park. I mean, the last time I tried, I bounced right into Monday, so here's to hoping your best isn't as high-flying as your profile suggests. I went on a date last week. Her profile picture must have been from the pre-Instagram era. I mean, I was expecting to meet a fresh out of college, Taylor Swift lookalike, but instead I was greeted by a Meryl Streep doppelganger. No offense to Meryl, she's great, but I was all set to sing Love Story, not The Iron Lady. Her bio said she was 25. 25. Decades, maybe. Her favorite band was the Rolling Stones, and not in an ironic hipster kind of way. She actually saw them live at their first concert ever. We met at a coffee shop. I ordered a caramel macchiato. She ordered a black coffee, no sugar, no cream. Like her soul. And her wardrobe. She wore a high-collared Victorian-era dress. I think it was actually from the Victorian era. Our conversation was a trip. I told her I worked in tech. She asked if I knew Morse code. I told her about my passion for video games. She asked if I've tried the new game, Pong. I told her I was into CrossFit. She asked if that was a new religion. I tried to steer the conversation towards something we both could relate to. Movies. I said I loved the latest Marvel movie. She said she enjoyed silent films. I mentioned The Matrix. She said she liked the part where Keanu Reeves took the blue pill. I had to break it to her gently. That was Viagra commercial. By the end of the date, I felt like I'd been in a time machine. She showed me her pocket watch. Not a cute hipster pocket watch, a genuine, winded up straight out of a Charles Dickens novel pocket watch. It even chimed, on the hour. Every hour. As I walked her to her horse and carriage, okay, it was a cab, but at this point, would a horse and carriage have surprised you? I realized that while it hadn't been the date I expected, it was definitely one for the books. Or, should I say history books? I mean, time travel is cool, but not what I signed up for. Ever accidentally super liked someone? I did. My ex. Now picture this, I'm lounging on my couch, half asleep, thumbing through profiles like I'm speed reading War and Peace. Suddenly there she is, my ex. Now I meant to swipe left, to banish her into the oblivion of the rejected. But instead my thumb slipped, it swiped upwards, the super-like territory. Now in case you don't know, a super-like isn't just a tap on the shoulder, it's a full-on bear hug. It's like shouting, I want you back, across a crowded room. And now she thinks I'm desperate to rekindle old flames when in reality I can't even remember why we broke up. So here I am trying to explain that it was a thumb slip, a mistake, an error. But she's already telling our mutual friends that I'm pining for her. Let me set the record straight. Now she thinks I'm pining for the past. The only thing I'm pining for is pizza at 2 a.m. First dates are like unboxing videos. You're excited, but mostly you're just hoping it's not a box of rocks. You know, the anticipation of ripping open that packaging. Not sure whether you're about to reveal a shiny new gadget or a moldy sandwich. It's a bit like ordering a mystery box from the internet. You've seen the pictures, read the description, but you're still not entirely sure what you're getting until it's there, in your hands. And sometimes, what you end up with is a jigsaw puzzle with half the pieces missing. I mean, let's talk about the preparatory pep talk we all give ourselves. Be cool, be funny, don't mention your Star Wars figurine collection. It's like prepping for a job interview, but the stakes are even higher. Because unlike a job, you can't just quit a bad date. Well, technically you can, but you'd probably end up as the villain in their next date's worst date ever story. And then there's the whole where to look dilemma. You don't want to come across as creepy staring into their soul, but you also don't want to seem disinterested. I once had a date who spent the entire time talking to my receding hairline. It's like she was trying to communicate with it telepathically. I had to remind her, hey, my eyes are down here. The conversation is another minefield. You want to keep it light and fun, but also meaningful. Like, I want to know what your favorite pizza topping is, but I also want to know your views on climate change. It's a delicate balancing act, like trying to walk a tightrope while juggling flaming swords. Then there's the end-of-date protocol. Do you hug, wave, high-five? It's like playing a game of guess the gesture. You're standing there, arms at the ready, waiting for the starting whistle. If only there were referees for this sort of thing. You go in for the hug, she extends her hand. Awkward. It's a cross between a business meeting and a wrestling match. You're left standing there wondering if you should have practiced your hand-to-hug transitions. I once tried a cool guy nod. I figured it was safe, non-contact, no room for error. But she leaned in for a kiss. A kiss! I dodged, she stumbled, and we ended up headbutting. It was like watching two rams on a mountaintop, except less majestic and more concussion-y. And let's not forget the doorstep dilemma. Do you linger, hoping for an invitation in, or do you bolt, leaving her wondering if you're in the witness protection program? I tried the linger once. Turns out she was just waiting for me to leave so she could let her cat out. Now, post-date texting. This is where the real fun begins. It's like playing Minesweeper with your feelings. One wrong move and boom, you're back to swiping in your pajamas. You send the I had a great time text. You see those three little dots appear and disappear, and then nothing. Absolute radio silence. You start to question everything. Was it the headbutt? The awkward hand hug? Did I have spinach in my teeth? Hours turn into days. You're refreshing your messages like it's a stock market ticker. You start to imagine her, huddled with a team of writers, drafting the perfect reply. No, we can't say me too, it's too forward. How about, yeah, it was alright. No, too indifferent. Finally, a response from her. Had fun, let's do it again. It's like defusing a bomb with seconds to spare. You breathe a sigh of relief and then realize, you're back at square one. What do you say now? Text sent to her saying, let's meet again. She read it at 9:03 p.m. No reply. Guess she's drafting her reply with a team of writers? And there you have it, folks. The ups and downs on online dating. Be sure to leave a comment below about your funny dating experiences. Until next time, stay quirky. Oh, and stay away from the super like button as if it were a hot burner.